Public imagination insists the Vatican's darkest corners hold a chronovisor machine to view the past, the demonic Grand Grimoire, and suppressed gospels contradicting modern theology. This aura of occult concealment stems from a simple linguistic accident. When Pope Paul V founded the repository in 1612, he named it the Archivum Secretum Vaticanum. In 17th century Latin, the word secretum simply meant private or personal to the Pope. Over centuries of translation into English, the word acquired a more sinister, conspiratorial tone. In 2019, Pope Francis issued an official decree to kill this lingering black legend. He formally changed the institution's name to the Vatican Apostolic Archive. To understand the actual weight of the Vatican, we have to bypass the Hollywood thrillers. We must physically descend into the actual repository to see how 85 linear kilometers of human history are actually preserved. The first layer of security begins at the Porta di S. Anna, guarded by the Pontifical Swiss Guard. They maintain their traditional Renaissance uniforms, yet they operate as a highly trained, modern counterintelligence and security force. The guards execute their duties using rugged Samsung Knox tablets, mobile devices secured with military-grade encryption. Once inside, security personnel track the exact whereabouts of thousand-year-old manuscripts using radio frequency identification, or RFID technology. Gaining entry requires navigating a rigid academic filter. Applicants must hold a PhD, or an equivalent 5-year master's degree, and present a formal letter of introduction from an accredited research institute. Casual tourists and amateur theorists are categorically barred from entry. Inside the reading rooms, researchers work in absolute silence. Retrieving original documents is strictly rationed to 3 to 5 items per day to prevent administrative backlog. Ink pens are entirely banned. A single drop could permanently destroy a brittle, millennium-old parchment. These intense bureaucratic and physical barriers exist to filter out casual handling. They protect irreplaceable physical remnants of civilization from accidental destruction. This cross-section highlights the archive's most secure facility, the bunker. Located deep beneath the Cortile della Pina, this subterranean vault houses the Holy See's critical records. It features 2 stories of fireproof concrete and strict climate controls to prevent the degradation of volatile parchment. The authentic treasures preserved here are administrative and diplomatic. The vaults protect the massive 1530 parchment petition, sealed in red wax by over 80 English lords, demanding the annulment of King Henry VIII's marriage, the specific document that triggered the English Reformation. Because the Church confiscated thousands of books, rumors claim the Vatican houses a secret dungeon of pornography and magic known as the Inferno. The reality of their censorship was the Index Librorum Prohibitorum, a sweeping bureaucratic catalog of banned books. This system of control primarily targeted Reformation theology, scientific advancements, and Enlightenment philosophy. When explosive documents do vanish from the public record, it is usually a matter of administrative overload. The Chinon parchment, which recorded Pope Clement V secretly absolving the Knights Templar of heresy, sat unnoticed for 700 years, simply because it was miscatalogued in the archive's vast indexing system. The greatest mysteries within these walls are rarely the result of intentional design. They are the inevitable byproduct of human error and the crushing administrative inertia of managing a continuous 700-year paper trail. The Vatican's records extend far beyond the Middle Ages. The collection actively documents the Church's navigation of the geopolitical traumas that defined the 20th century. Few modern legacies are debated as fiercely as that of Pope Pius XII. Critics accuse him of a morally culpable public silence during the Holocaust, while defenders argue he directed clandestine operations that successfully saved thousands of Jewish lives. The Vatican traditionally seals records for 70 years after a pontificate ends. In 2020, Pope Francis shattered this precedent by prematurely opening millions of Pius XII's files to independent scholars. Internal memorandums reveal intense divisions within the Curia. The correspondence shows officials agonizing over diplomatic calculations, profound bureaucratic indifference, and the quiet heroism of priests coordinating with the German resistance. the primary evidence presents a complex human reality. The Vatican Apostolic Archive has transitioned from a fortress of defensive secrecy into a guardian of primary evidence. The subterranean bunker beneath the Cortile della Pina preserves the unvarnished, uncomfortable physical remnants of truth for future generations to scrutinize.